Here we are on London's Carnaby Street, where we're talking to the public about the very elusive subject of male makeup. Okay, so I'm here with Harley, and Harley's looking very dapper on Carnaby Street today. Now, Harley, I need to talk to you. Do you think about makeup? Do you ever wear makeup, anything like that?
I don't know. I can honestly say I've never worn makeup in my life. Maybe if you get the odd spot, you get a red spot, before a night out.
Do you reckon it's now's the age that men will start to wear makeup? It's becoming more and more?
Absolutely. Anything to enhance, look better, feel good about yourself. Yes, definitely.
Now, do you feel that it's become acceptable now for men to wear makeup?
I think it's acceptable to wear a certain amount of makeup, like not too much, but it's like concealer or something, or like light layer or something, but I don't think it's that bad at all anymore.
Personally, I don't know anyone who wears makeup out of my friends, but I don't know, I think it's more of a girl's thing to do.
I don't wear makeup now.
Okay, all right. Why? Why is that?
Natural looks a bit better, I think.
Some great responses today on Carnaby Street. Let's see what's up next. Today I'm going to be working on two very different men. One wants to be more tanned, the other one's worried about rugby incidents when he's got a wedding the next weekend. So I tell you what, this is Ted, and he's our rugby player. So today we're going to be starting with a very light foundation. Now this is available at any Boots shop, and this one we're using is Rimmel. By using a foundation, you generally don't see there's a foundation on as long as it's light enough. So Ted's got a great complexion, however he does have some red patches. So what we're going to do is use this foundation to cover up anything, and it will give an even finish, and so you'll never see there's makeup. So what I'm doing is blending in lightly some foundation into his face. Now brushes might seem like a really girly thing to use, however they're so important. There are places you can't get your fingers to. The last thing you want to do is stretch the skin with your fingers, so brushes are a much easier and much safer way of using makeup. So I'm moving on to another Rimmel product, however this is more of a thicker concealer, which might be better for under the eyes and any red patches or blemishes you might have. So I'm going to start with under the eyes. So we all seem to drink too much, and eye bags are inevitable. So if you can use something under your eye, this is not a feminine product. This is purely an under eye bag remover. So if you wake up one morning and you've got an enormous zit on your face, what are you gonna do? You pull out a concealer because Nancy next door is not gonna love you with a spot on your face. So cover it up, it's gonna get your chance of getting laid a lot better. That's right, Ted. So for a rugby lad, Ted's got quite good skin. However, he does have some red patches where he wears his glasses. So what we're going to do, instead of the zits he doesn't have, we're going to cover up his red patches on his nose. So who says men wearing makeup wasn't buff? With a buffer. Now after you use makeup, you have to buff. It sounds a bit silly, but if you want to look as though you're not wearing makeup, buffing is the most prominent way of doing that. So if I use this, and I literally...
I thought the only way to get buff was in the gym, Ollie.
Shut up, Ted. Generally, Ted, yes it is. However, we're buffing your skin so that when you go to the rugby club, people aren't going to say you're wearing makeup. All you need to do is go round and round in circles and buff the skin. So by doing this, I'm removing any excess makeup, leaving a really clear complexion. So now we've seen what we can do with subtle makeup for the rugby pitch. What we're going to do is move on to the man that wants to be much more tanned, and that's a little bit more extreme. That's the end of part one. Don't forget to check out part two, where we'll be turning someone a little bit more towy.